Hey y'all, today it's out with the old and in with the new. My name is Andrew, this is the OK Humvee. Okay, been a couple days. Let's see, what have you missed? Okay, since my last video, that actually went in. Since the last real video, we have had highs in the 90s. We've had tornadoes. We've had fires, we've had more tornadoes, we've had hail. Currently under thunderstorm warning right now. It's probably going to rain all day today. And it's cold again. It's like 54. Tomorrow, the high is 48. It's April in Oklahoma, so it's kind of a weird time. I'm gonna have to do some painting in the cold. So let's go over a few of the updates of where we are and what's next. So last video, the last real video, if you missed it, go check my April Fool's video. It actually did pretty well for, it actually got more comments, I think, than some of my normal videos, but spent way too much time on that. Anyways, last video we got the generator on. That was heavy, so I needed help with that. Probably could have done it myself if I had just taken the bracket off, but I did not think about that. So got the generator on, the brackets in for that, which allowed me to then put on the power steering pump because it had to go on that bracket. And then I'm going with the old style pulley assembly that came off my 6.5 NA. So we got those on. So then we can put the idler pulley arm back on, which it seems fine. A lot of people replace those. I don't know if mine needs replacing, so we'll see. So that stuff's on. Next, I know I've promised you this fan assembly. It's the clutchless one, so we'll go through that. I also got some other parts recently that I'm going to kind of go through. So this is the lower radiator tube hose, and it's steel. And I showed a video. Oh man, even there it's when I took it off, showed a video. It's pretty bad. It's very rusty. So I got a new radiator and everything. I don't want to reuse this. The drain plug is toast. So I got a new one. I don't remember where I got this from because it was probably 6 months ago. But I'll look it up. And I'll put a note here of this part is from. It cost. Okay. So yeah, this is, yeah, looks similar except that this has a another threaded hole. I'm guessing I got from an H1, and maybe this is a sensor or something. So I'm gonna try to figure out what that is, and probably eventually just plug it. But then I've also ordered a new little drain plug guy. This should be here today. So then once I have that figured out, that can go in. I've got new hoses for that. Some nice new hose clamps. This. So when I got my lift kit, I did the body lift. These are all the pieces that came for the fuel tank drop. As you know, or maybe you don't know, if you didn't know, when you lift the body, the fuel tank goes with it. However, there's a cutout for the drive shaft. So as you lift the body, the tank goes with it and it rubs on the drive shaft. Not ideal. So when you lift a Humvee, you have to drop the tank the corresponding amount that you lifted the body. My kit did not really come with directions. It came with these 2 spacers, which I'm assuming you just wedge at the top where it rests on the body, and these strap lengtheners. This just, I mean, it's probably fine. So instead of this, also the welds on this, I don't know. I just didn't feel great about reusing my rusty straps, and this doesn't feel great. So my buddy recommended Anvil Motorworks, so check them out. They've got a lot of really good Humvee stuff. They've got like some bushing tools. I'll probably get one of those pretty soon. They've got door seal kits. They've got all kinds of stuff. But they've also got this really solid kit for the drop. So 2-inch, you can tell this is real thick aluminum. So I'm really happy about that. Feels a lot better. Feel like it's gonna last. Plus, his kit comes with all new straps. So nice welds. This is what I have to paint today in the cold. Yeah, I've never dropped a Humvee fuel tank, but I texted him. He said it's going to be pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if he's seen any of my videos, but we'll figure it out. All 4 of these are different, so it should be pretty clear where they all go because they'll just be longer than what's there. But I need to paint these, and today's my best option. And it's 54 and rainy, so don't judge this. I'm going to paint with, I got this Eastwood paint prep to clean it off with. I've been using the Eastwood Rust Encapsulator. It's a very matte finish. I've been using it on a lot of the frame stuff. If there's any rust, I'll wire brush it and just go over with this, and then I'll eventually coat over that. But this seems to be working pretty good as a primer. And I don't have any other primer, so do that. And then we'll hit it with some Rust-Oleum gloss enamel because something needs to be shiny. If it's new, it should at least look new. Let's see what else I got. I got a new Koozie from Midwest Military Equipment. It's pink camo. I don't know. Guys, I don't know what you were thinking. It's not that I don't like pink. Honestly, my daughter will probably end up with it, but I'm probably gonna get it really dirty. Oh, these are the bolts for that. What did I order from Midwest Military Equipment? Several things. The first one to have arrived is in this bag. This is a transmission. I can't do 2 things at once, sorry. I guess that goes there. I don't want to wedge it. Filter for the transmission fluid. As you know, maybe if you remember, I'm changing the pan on my transmission, which looks like it's going to be a little bit of an ordeal. You got to pull the front drive shaft. You got to pull these brackets off. They can only clear with the drive shaft out. I've got new joints on the way, so I'll do all that at once. But while I've already got the pan out, I'll put this new filter in, and it just kind of wedges up in there. We'll see. If you've never seen a transmission fluid filter, it looks like this. So Thank you, Midwest Military Equipment, for my new Koozie. I have some more parts coming, maybe tomorrow, that I'll talk about if they get here. And we'll see if we can put that fan kit on. But first, I'm going to dust these fellas here in my garage. Let's throw something under those. These came off, maybe these were on the front. I don't know. I may have extras of these, so these may not be going on, but if they do, I'm going to paint them or bedline them or powder coat them or something anyway, so. Doesn't really matter if they get a little paint on them, although we'll do this over her. Where are my towels? Does this do anything? I don't know. Someone will find issue with what I'm doing, which is great, because then the more comments, even when they're negative, the more people YouTube shows my video to. So if you hate what I'm doing right now, leave me a comment. If you have some actual constructive feedback, you can leave that too. If you have complaints, I will probably respond sarcastically. So please don't get your feelings hurt. Doesn't smell great. Woo! It's like huffing and rubbing alcohol. Okay. We'll hit these with some aerosoled stuff. Just want to be able to pick it up without getting my fingers all dirty. All right. Ooh, it's been sitting a minute. Guess who didn't clean out the nozzle? Yeah, me. I didn't clean out the nozzle. So, of course, that came with it. Okay, this is your reminder to clean out your nozzles. This Eastwood rust encapsulator stuff I've hit my frame with it in a couple places where I've had to wire brush. Seems pretty good so far, and it's cheaper than Steal It with that nozzle. isn't my favorite. Because it kind of made a mess. Never fear. Cleaner is here. Pro tip, cleaner only works. Pro tip, cleaner works better if your paper towel is clean. I used to have a bunch of shop rags. Then we moved. I don't know what happened to them. They're all pretty gross, so my friends probably thought they were trash. Which they probably were, so probably just replace them. Okay, overspray. It's cleared. We'll let that rest for a while since it's, 45 and rainy. That'll be wet and tacky for a month. I don't know, bake it in the oven or something. Okay. On to the next thing. Okay. So now while I'm literally watching paint dry, I'm going to talk about this fan kit. This is a Humvee water pump off a 6.5. This, first of all, you can see, I don't think it should be off center like that. Anyways, that connects to, on the old systems, the Cadillac Valve, which tells it when to fan and when not to fan based on something. I don't really understand this. I just know it's loud, it's on, and it fails a lot. And I also know this water pump was trash. This pulley has seen better days, and whatever this was supposed to do, I don't think it's doing anymore. So, that paperweight, I landed on my toe. That paperweight would be replaced with the Black Dog Customs clutchless fan kit, fan clutch delete kit. Comes with one Black Dog fan, one static fan clutch, Black Dog water pump pulley, centering pin, brass barb, hose slice, 4 pan bolts, 4 water pump studs, 4 lock nuts, 2 stud mounts, 1 tube of Loctite. The instructions are pretty good, as you know. I love a good set of instructions. And look, y'all, these instructions, they have pictures. For dummies like me, it's clutch. Clutch, get it? Because there's not one. Okay, the fan, nice. Metal tiers, label front. Again, that makes it easy. Let's see what else is in here. It also comes with shims. Passenger side frame extension shims. And it's radiator support shims. Okay. I don't know if we need those or not, but we got them, so we shall see. That one didn't go in. Guessing this is the brass pulley thing. Then this is where the magic happens. So you can tell this is a lot smaller, a lot lighter. This doesn't have to be plumbed up to the Cadillac valve. This happens all kind of internally with this coil thing. As I understand it, it shouldn't really be able to move freely right now. As this heats up, it expands, it unlocks the mysteries of the universe, and the fan spins and keeps your motor cool. And yeah, so we're gonna figure out how to bolt this puppy on. Also, my hands are cold. Dang. Okay. I'll show you these instructions real quick, and we'll get started. Okay. So everything that comes with this kit. I have different kits for different motors. This is the one I got. Gaining access. Yeah, mine's already been removed. Remove the 4 bolts that hold the fan clutch on. Place the water pump pulley on the water pump and confirm that you have a 1/8 of an inch gap between the water pump centering pin. Install the water pump stud, supplied blue Loctite. Okay. Bolt the fan on. Okay. Cadillac valve, remove the valve. Okay. This doesn't look too bad. Famous last words. Step 1. Place the water pump pulley on the water pump and confirm that you have a 1/8 of an inch gap between the water pump centering pin and the top of the pulley. Woo! Shiny. It's real nice, Clark. Real shiny. It's real nice. Let me just rub all my grubby fingers on it. Okay. This here goes right there. So I have 1/8 of a, I don't know. Where's my nail? Is that 1/8 of an inch? It's more than 1/8 of an inch. Based on my precise micrometer of a finger and a bolt. It's almost 1/4 of an inch. So, cool. Step 1, confirmed. Install the water pump studs using supplied blue Loctite. Note, small section of threads mount into the pump. Okay, these are the 4 water pump studs. Small end, I think you can see that. Small end goes into the water pump itself. Okay, about to learn you some stuff, YouTube. Okay, as you can see, these are the mounting studs. So the shorter side, that's where you put the Loctite, that goes into the water pump. Pulley sits here, and then this is what you mount the fan and stuff to. Now, as you know, there's not really anything easy to grab on. And yes, there's Loctite, but it needs to be better than hand tight. So they supply you with these 2 13 mil nuts so that you have something to grab on. So if you've never done this, you can put 2 nuts together, and then you have something to crank on. So you tighten them up against each other, and then the 13, you wouldn't do it that way, you would do it that way. Then you actually get some torque on there. Then when you're done, break them loose, and so that's what we're gonna do next. Put blue Loctite. We'll thread them all in by hand first with the blue Loctite, and then we will tighten them down with these if I don't lose them. between now and then. Blue Loctite. This is the point where you want to make sure probably wearing gloves or something, I don't know. Actually, you probably want to make sure you're lined up with the holes. Blue Loctite, man, it's just wonderful. Close enough. If you have complaints about how I apply Blue Loctite, please leave your messages in the comments. Could have done that without that on there. Guess it doesn't matter. I had them lined up surprisingly somehow anyways. Okay. All right, so all those are hand tight. Get our little locking nuts. Get our handy dandy variable expansion. So the water pump does spin, so I'm gonna probably hold the back one. So I'm gonna hold this back one, maybe, and then I will tighten the front one to it. So it's tight on there, and now I can use the front one to fully tighten that stud in. I don't know. So, one down, 3 more to go. Do y'all argue with me on TV like I argue with football refs on TV? Like, no, don't do that. That's the wrong way. Sometimes I do that to myself. What were you thinking? Did not give me any kind of torque specs on these. I'm guessing you just want it pretty dang tight. Anytime I use a vice grip, I wonder what's Vice Grip Garage up to today? Okay, this is the last one. Every time. So you tighten it down against itself. You wedge something in there, and then you can use this front one to tighten the stud until it stops moving, which is there. If you go too far, you will strip your bolt. Your threads will be all wonky. Nobody wants wonky threads. Wonky Threads was my nickname in high school. Okay. Step 2 or 3 or whatever that was is done. Place the water pump pulley on the water pump. Oh, like the clearance is just so perfect. It's, That needs to go on more. Okay, hold that thought. Okay, I wasn't recording, but put that on. Looks like it lines up with everything. So I think it's on there all the way. So clearances on here were really tight, which, I mean, I guess is good. So, get a little rubber mallet tap. And now we're going to go back and work on the fan. Pulley's on. Now we are going to step 3 using the supplied blue Loctite, mount the fan and clutch with supplied flange bolts. Front side of the fan is clearly marked front. It is clearly marked front. That is the front. I'm guessing front goes out. Before we do that, let's look at the clouds. I don't think you can tell on camera, but they're moving pretty quick. All right. Y'all don't care about my weather report. Okay, what were we doing? Okay, fan is marked front. The fan is marked front. However, the front, because this bolts to the water pump, the front of the truck would be like that, right? It's one of those parts where if I get this wrong, it's not going to work. And I'm not going to remember I did this by the time I get around to starting it. I mean, I'll remember I did it, but I won't remember that this was the problem. Front side of the fan is clearly marked front, but I think front goes down. Because front should mean front of the truck. I'm overthinking this. Front should mean front of the truck. Right? We all agree with that? Front of the fan is the front of the truck. This is the front of the fan. This is the front of the truck. This bolts to the water pump pulley. So it'll be like that. We all agree. Speak now or forever hold your peace. If I'm doing this wrong, I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments. No, this is right. I'm overthinking it. Front is clearly marked on the fan, and the front goes down. Use the supplied blue Loctite. Mount the fan with these flanged bolts, which there are 4 of. Wonder if these are also a 13. I guess with big rotating things, there's no such thing as too much Loctite. Do y'all know who invented Loctite? Oh, I don't know. I just realized y'all might been waiting for an answer. No, I don't know. I was just curious if y'all knew who invented Loctite. It's probably a cool story. Huh. It was a 13. These are also a 13. I don't want to overdo it. Okay. Install the centering pin and press firmly. Centering pin. It goes all the way. Ha! Oh, dang, I wish I could see that. This here is the centering pin. Needs to go in that. Beautiful. I give that a thumbs up. So that's what goes into the water pump pulley to center it, keep it from wobbling. Now we install the fan and clutch onto the water pump and bolt it down using the supplied crush nuts. Usually want to avoid crush nuts. Sorry, I'm a child. Okay. Ooh, I just spit. These are probably a 13. These are gold colored according to the instructions. Okay, back at the truck. These 4 bolts. Why are there 6 bolts? Also, they're nuts. And 2 of these were the locking ones. Well, whatever. They're the ones I used. Okay. Pretty simple. These holes go on those posts. And we'll lock it down, and I left my wrench over yonder at the table. That is a loud airplane. I'm gonna get my fat fingers in there. Chances of me dropping one of these into the abyss below is pretty high. Come on, guy, cooperate. Now, unfortunately, I won't have a before and after comparison for you of this fan kit because I don't have the before. However, if I don't overheat and the fan works, then you'll know. Wedge something somewhere. Shot a longer 13 mil wrench. No, a socket doesn't fit in there. So but not anticipate this being the hardest part. Putting these 4 crush nuts on. Oh, huh. One down. Got one of them. Did you get that for me? You doing all right?
Making any progress?
Yeah. Working on the fan right now.
They actually have a vehicle here.
Yeah, that's the goal. Sorry about that. Somebody needs to invent a, kind of like on a Ski-Doo or a treadmill, like the emergency rubber bracelet. It's like a little rubber bracelet with a bungee that goes to whatever wrench you're on with some Velcro, and it just Velcros on there so that when you have to hold it like this and you drop it, your bungee would catch it. That is a great idea, and someone should do that. That's something I would use right in this second to prevent me from dropping this stupid wrench anymore. Okay. The new clutch fan delete kit is on. Pulleys are on. Power steering pump, generator. I'll show you these bolts right here that were, those bolts were not super fun to get to because when you tighten it, it turns. And they're crush nuts, so they have resistance the whole way down. So yeah, that was tough. But other than that, pretty straightforward kit. Very easy, great instructions. Front of the fan goes to the front of the truck. We're hoping and assuming. So yeah, let's thumb hurts. Let's go check on these straps. Yeah, we'll give them another little psst, psst, and then we'll come back for paint. Probably put those on in another video because oh, shims. Let's see. Shims. Your turbo shim kit is designed to give you extra clearance. Unbolt, remove your winch plate. That's gone. Unbolt your radiator from the front. That's gone. All of this is gone. But we will keep it. Basically, those go on the front where the winch plate goes, just to give some extra clearance for the radiator to move forward, I'm guessing, so that it clears the fan. I don't know. Well, the shroud is back yonder, so yeah, that's where we are. See, look at this. And then look at, like, this is gonna get dirty, guys. Sorry, I think it's already dirty. Sorry. Okay, send me a new one with my next 3 orders, because they're in the mail right now. Okay, put another coat of primer on those on the other side. And then remembered there's more to do. So, I mentioned the Cadillac valve. This bypasses that. There's other stuff that goes into it, so something else clearly uses it. But this kit comes with this guy to bypass whatever was going in it, so it just kind of closes that system. Time delay that's plugged into the Cadillac valve and the engine harness. I guess that's this thing? Time delay? I don't know. I'll ask somebody smarter than me on that. It is plugged into the engine harness. Okay, so in order to delete all this, which we can, thanks to that new fan kit, we get rid of the time delay module. This is what interpreted this sensor. It would look at the data there, see the temp, and would either engage or disengage. Those fail pretty frequently. These apparently can fail. So this goes away. This line up front, this is what went to the fan shroud, or went to the front of the fan. So this goes away. But the kit comes with this little coupling. So this this line comes from the back of the power steering pump. This goes into the cooler. So we're just going to cut here. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the camera. Cut here, cinch this up, and then this whole system can be removed because we're bypassing it. So we'll do that real quick. Then this end goes to power steering pump itself. I'll say as I get this one halfway in and no further. Okay, that works. All right. Hose clamp this guy. Golly. Lines are a little dirty. So now, our power steering pump, let's go straight to the cooler without going through the Cadillac valve. Good enough. Okay. Time delay module, you unplug that. Yeah, that's a plug, okay. I don't want to cut it in case something happens, but there is a plug under there. So now, officially, Cadillac valve deleted. Time delay module deleted. Yes, these will go to die in my parts pile. Because you just never know. All right, let's wrap this up. All right, that wraps up the fan, Black Dog Customs fan install. This is the clutch delete, so it uses that stuff there, and it bypasses the Cadillac valve. So Cadillac valve delete, I'll clean that up at some point. Supposedly, this helps eliminate a lot of noise and a lot of risk of it failing and then the engine overheating. So yeah, thanks to you guys for sticking around. Okay, fans in, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we'll make some more videos soon. By the time this airs, it'll be the week of Easter. Look, call your mom, go to church. If you're in Tulsa, you can send me a message on Instagram. You can come to church with me. But yeah, call your mom if you want to. That's it for now. A lot more projects to come. See ya. Come to my attention that there has been a little bit of controversy surrounding this channel. So I felt like it was time to be honest and transparent, and so I've written you guys a letter that I'd like to read before you leave today. Dear viewers, today I come to you not as a content creator, not as a Humvee enthusiast, but as a human being who's made a big mistake. Over the past few weeks, rumors and allegations have started circulating about something I said on a previous video. And after reflecting deeply, I feel it's time to address those rumors head on, to take responsibility, and to apologize. In that video, I said something that, while a seemingly offhand attempt at humor, has caused real pain, not just to someone close to me, but to the trust, honesty, and transparency this channel is built on. I claim that this chair that I'm sitting on now was, and I quote, a very uncomfortable chair. What I failed to mention, and what I deeply regret, is that the chair in question was gifted to me by my father-in-law. This chair has seen things. It has been faithful in serving at birthday parties, family gatherings, Christmas dinners, 4th of July barbecues, and has supported many a tired Thanksgiving cook deep frying turkeys. This chair is practically a family heirloom, and it's dependable. It sits out of the spotlight, collecting dust, not looking for glory, but is ready to jump into action when called upon. So, by dismissing it on camera, I wasn't just insulting a chair. I was insulting a legacy, a lifestyle, and the generosity of a loved one. I hold myself to a higher standard than that. I should have been better, and I will be better. To my viewers, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. To my father-in-law, thank you for the chair. And while it may feel like sitting on a warm Tupperware lid, it may flex in ways that defy basic physics, and it may leave waffle patterns on the back of my thighs. It's all part of the charm, and I will never slander nor take it for granted ever again. Sincerely, Andrew and the OK Humvee.